Hi everyone, so today we're going to go over setting your house up for your puppy's success and training and introducing new good habits from the start. So the reason why I've got little Percy here today to help us see a little bit of what it looks like to have a brand new puppy in the house. So even though they're really exciting and fun, they can also be a lot of hard work, and it can be a very overwhelming time because they don't really have any manners yet, they don't have any training, and they're also pushing your boundaries. So setting your house up to prevent your dog displaying behavioural problems or getting used to having behaviours you don't like. So we're trying to ensure that we're not giving them the opportunity to practice behaviours that we don't like, will help resolve or will help you avoid having a lot of behavioural problems later in life. So doing this from an early age can make a huge difference to how your dog grows up and to preventing behavioural issues arising as they grow and mature. So when we're talking about setting up the house, it's really important to think about all the different things that we need. So I highly recommend crate training. Crate training, one, gives you a break from the puppy every now and then because they can be very frustrating and difficult when they're young, and there's times that we just need some time out and the puppy needs some time out to calm down and think about its behaviour. The other benefits of crate training is it stops them practicing problem behaviours, so it gives a way to restrict them and stop them practicing problem behaviours. It also helps with house training, that they're not going to have as many accidents, and it will also build positive experiences around other situations where they may need to be in a crate or a confined area, such as if they are unwell and they have to go to the vets for a night, that they're not going to be scared or anxious about the idea of being in a crate as well as being at the vets, or if you needed to go away and they stayed in a boarding kennel, or any other situation where it may just be a little bit different and they may be in a confined space, they're going to be comfortable and have a positive experience with that. It also helps them learn how to self-settle a little bit quicker because they're restricted to a smaller space. Therefore, they don't have as much room to work themselves up and get themselves overexcited or stressed. And in those puppy stages, when they're overtired and they don't know how to bring themselves down and calm down, having them in a confined space will help them learn how to deal with that. Before, Percy was doing a little bit of whining and a little bit unsettled, so that is quite normal for puppies when they're first learning about crate training and learning how to self-settle, that they may have a few moments of crying and whining whilst they're learning how to calm themselves down and get through that. So it's important that we don't go back to them when they're doing that. We wait till they're calm and we reward them for being calm. For him, he's a little overtired right now, so I wouldn't want to bring him out because I want him to just learn how to sleep, but reinforcing him once he is calm is going to help him understand that that's what he should do. And then once he's had a little nap, we would ask him to wait before bringing him out. Discussing different ways that we're setting up the house. Obviously, as discussed, we want to set the dogs up for success. So having areas where we've got crates and safe spaces for the dogs is going to help a lot with that, especially whilst they're puppies and they're learning, that they know a place to calm down, to settle, and to have as their own safe place when they need to have a break from something. So for people that may need to work from home sometimes, having a setup like this where you've got an office area, you've got the crates, the dogs have a safe spot and they can be relaxed and calm, but also have a little bit of distance from you, especially if you may be having work calls, Zoom meetings. It's a little bit of a disturbance having a dog that wants to be involved and wants to be the centre of attention during those situations. So other things, as discussed with our new puppy, setting up the home is so important and setting the puppy up for success. This means having doors closed to rooms that they shouldn't be accessing or where they can cause trouble. So bedrooms, bathrooms, there's lots of fun things for puppies to destroy in all of those areas, like clothes, shoes, socks, toilet paper. You don't want your toilet paper being thrown all over the house. So really important to prevent access to those areas whilst they're learning how to behave. So the small amounts of time that they're free, and the freedom should all be supervised. So all of those short times that they're free, you're watching them, so you're not letting them get into trouble, but removing their access to areas where there's a lot of area for mistake and a lot of room for error is going to help you set up those good habits. So that's one thing that's important. I like to put baby gates up as well in different rooms, in different areas of the house, to section it through the hallway or bedrooms. That way they can see but not access. As you can see, we've also got a little area set up. So this could be an area where your puppy may be sleeping. So either sleeping in a crate, or if you're more comfortable with a laundry area with a baby baby gate, that's fine too. It's the same theory and same idea as a crate. So you don't have to only have a crate, you don't have to only have a laundry, you can have all of them, or you can choose whether you would prefer a crate, laundry with a baby gate, or a playpen setup. Either's going to be fine. It's going to teach the puppy to have its own space. When you're doing this, you can see we've got some fake grass here. So that's to help the puppy with its toileting. When they're young, they don't have good bladder control, so that doesn't kick in to around 6 months of age. And whilst we're waiting for that to kick in, we want to ensure that if they do have an accident, when you're not supervising, it's in a space that reminds them and is the same texture and the same idea as what they use outside. So I prefer not to use puppy pads because I train my dogs to use grass outside, and I want them to look for something of a similar texture. If you're using puppy pads, they're going to look for something that feels like paper, which is not ideal when you're trying to transfer to real life. Just be aware though, with the fake grass, the closest thing to that in a house is normally carpet. So keeping them off carpeted areas when you're not supervising, because they will look for a texture that feels the same as what you're training them to. So the more spaces you have that are set up that are good for the puppy, that minimize areas for mistake, nice puppy bed. This for a young puppy may not be as ideal, because you can see there's a few things that the puppy could get to and damage, which we probably would save for once the puppy's a little bit older, knows the rules and knows how to behave appropriately. Sure. Cool. So as we've been discussing, the restriction of freedom is one of the most important things with training our new puppies and setting them up for success. So we can already see some of the things that we wanted to set up in the house. So as you can see, we have the playpen, the crate, we've also got the laundry set up with the baby gate, and also things like this, tethering him. So having a lead set up and his bed so that he doesn't have the full freedom of the house and he has to just be in a spot and learn how to self-settle. So this is a really, really good technique to implement, especially if you're just, going about your normal business. You don't always want to put them in a pen or a crate or a laundry away from you to settle. You want them to also be able to be calm and settled in that environment. So if they're tethered, if they don't have space to do too much other than be on the bed, they might wander a little bit. You can see that he is wandering around a little bit, but we'd just ignore that, and we'd every now and then when we see him on the bed and relax, we'd stop and give him a little treat so that he starts to learn to just be in a space and not have to be a part of and be involved in everything that's going on around him. The more we do this, the more it becomes a normal thing that when he's part of the family, when people are sitting around watching TV, socializing, doing whatever you normally do during your family time, that he has to just be in his own space and doing his own thing, relaxing. So as you can see in this example, so Percy was fidgeting a little bit, getting a bit unsettled. Eventually he has come over to his bed, and that's when we would reward him so that he learns just to relax and be in his own space. This also helps prevent separation anxiety and overdependence on us, that the dog can just be in its own spot and watch us walk around the house and not be glued to our leg or next to us all the time.